and welcome back to our continuing coverage from Dice Tower Convention 2018.
I don't have that many fingers.
Yeah, we've been trying to work that out, figure it out.
I can go. You can do this.
Hold on, two.
So,
do the
look
zero.
At that. There's 18.
No, do zero.
Oh.
I got two. Do zero. Do zero.
Why do I have to be the zero?
No, do zero. 1, and you do 8 down there. 2, 0, 1, 8.
Hi.
Are we live yet?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't get
All
that
right.
signal.
That was fun.
Can you zoom in on this half?
Zoom in on this. Take off, eh?
We are joined by Daniel from Tasty Minstrel Games.
Hello.
Hello. Really good to have you on the show with us.
It's great to be here, Chaz.
It is great to have you here. And you have brought something kind of pretty and interesting, which I cannot wait to find out more about. So please, dig in.
All right, so what I brought here is Trade on the Tigris. Now, Trade on the Tigris has a fun little story, and I'm really glad to be showing it off here at Dice Tower.
I want to hear this story.
This story is awesome. So, the
Will it
game.
make me cry?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, maybe with tears of laughter.
Okay.
Well, but only if I tell it right, and I probably won't.
I'm excited.
So, but you know, we all know that Tom just loves games about trading on the Mediterranean River.
That sounded sarcastic.
A little bit, just a little bit. I'm glad you picked up on that. We're going to get along fine, Marty. So, and in fact, this game was actually kind of conceived as he was like, every game is about trading on the Mediterranean. All these Euro games, it's like, and so somebody was, so these two designers, they got together, Jeff and Ryan, they got together and they were like, let's make a game about trading on the Mediterranean. Boom!
Literally
trading on the Mediterranean. just for Tom. Just so Tom will love it. And so that this game was born with that mindset. And so we did change the name of the river because every game is about trading on the Mediterranean. So we changed. Now this one's trading on the Tigris. Tigris, totally original.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Totally original.
It is.
Night and day. Different.
Totally new.
But I would have given you style points if you would have kept it trade on the Mediterranean.
On the Mediterranean.
: take that, Tom.
And then with a little hat on the guy on the cover, it's like, what? That'd have been delightful. Absolutely. So Trade on the Tigris, this is going to be our Gen Con release for 2018.
Okay.
And we'll have, the rest of the copies will be on the water. So there's going to be a soft pre-release at Gen Con. And it plays 3 to 6 players. It takes about 60 minutes to an hour and a half. Hour and a half, I've never really seen a game go that long, right? Really, we can bang it out in about 45 minutes. But,
Wow. Okay. Wow.
yeah, so it's a civ building game where you're going to be playing these different factions. I only have 4 of the factions here. The other 2 are back at the booth.
Okay.
And so you're going to be playing these different factions. You're going to be developing your civilization with a mixture of religion and government. Okay, and you're going to be balancing out these religions and governments within your civilization and the developments that you're going to get. We have neutral religions and neutral development cards that you can add to your civilization, but your players are going to be here on this track, and throughout the course of the game, as you're playing cards and doing different things through your trades, you're going to maneuver yourself up and down the tracks, and that's going to influence where you're going to be drawing your development cards for your civilization. And so, you might end up becoming a very heavy Asher, worshiper. And I like to look at this first, for me personally, because you've got kind of the wings here, and you've got like the snakish figure here. To me, it reminds me of like Conan the Barbarian. You've got, you have Set and Ibis,
Yes.
right? And it's like, oh, Set. So this kind of,
Can I do that again?
oh, Set.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes. So what we're going to be doing, like these do kind of tend to be a little bit meaner, and same with the dictatorship, and these, there is meanness in all of it, but at the same time, they balance out that way as well narratively, which is fun. And so the first thing you're going to be doing when you're playing this game is you're going to be developing. When you develop, you're going to look at where you are on the track, and you're going to draw 2 of these development cards, and then from each side. So if I was here on the government and here on the religion, right? And then I'd look at these cards, and I would get to choose 1 from each category, right? And so this one tells me I could immediately discard a starting worker, and in return, I'm going to get export goods, so I'm going to kill this guy here, and instead I'm going to start getting some finer goods from further down the river. Okay, so that would be my government card that I chose. So I would not get to keep this, and that would get discarded. Just throw that over there. And then for my religion card here, maybe I get to immediately discard these barbarians, one of my barbarians, for every symbol of this here I have, which isn't the Asher symbol, right? So I could be like, okay, Maybe I have 2 Asher symbols, and I'm like, oh, we'll get rid of these barbarians. I'm going to get this. And then this says during my production phase, which is the next phase of the game, I'm going to gain card number 57. So once everybody does this, right, now we've developed our society a little bit, now we're going to produce. The production, I'm going to look at what I produce here. I'm currently going to be producing 2 import goods, which are these ones here with the guy on the river in the back
Is
here.
that listed on the card?
Yeah, right here.
Okay,
Produce
got
this.
it.
And then this one is telling me I get to produce 4 general goods. 3 and 4. And then this is telling me that I'm going to produce card number 57. Once I pull this out, I can keep it out because every round I'm going to be producing this.
Okay.
Okay? And so now, all the different players, we would all have our cards that we've produced, and I'm going to be looking at these and keeping them secret to myself as I'm playing.
I
And
can see those though.
you can. Whoa.
Well, you said you were going to keep them
How did you get
secret.
these secret powers?
That was one of my abilities.
You can see through cards.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm wearing glasses; they're reflective. That's it. So,
Chaz is looking at me funny.
I'm pretty sure.
like-
I'm pretty sure I'm on the outside looking into this interview. So.
what? So this would be my hand of cards that I could trade.
Okay.
And so as I'm looking at this, right, I don't have any like resources. They're all different up here on the top, and that's not necessarily good for me because I want to get a bulk of flax. Because the more flax I'm able to turn in, the more points that I'm going to get for doing so.
So you want stacks of flax.
Right. So I'm sitting stacks of flax. What?
I'm back in.
Yay!
Back in.
Yes! Woo! All right. Stacks of flax. I love it. All right. Okay. So, but what I do have here is I've got a whole lot of Marduk on the bottom. All right, and that's really good for me. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay. So what is it that I want to do? And so this Asher now is not looking very good for me, even though I'm up here on the Asher track. Maybe in the beginning of the game, right? Because I started from this area. So we're just going to do this. So in this situation, or maybe actually, you know, we'll keep it here, and this is really bad for me because I'm wanting to go Asher.
Right.
Right. So this is actually horrible for me. And so when I'm looking at this, I'm like, I got to get rid of these because otherwise this is going to push me back and it's going to end up resetting where I'm at. So during the open trading, I'm like, I'm trying to get rid of these. And so it's like, oh, you need a goat and a fish, I'll give you a goat and a fish. And whatever's on the top, you have to tell the truth on. But whatever's on the bottom, you can lie about.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so you
Oh.
can see, it's like, oh, well, Daniel's really high up on the Asher track, and he's trying to get rid of these cards. And so maybe he's trying to get rid of them because they've got the Marduks. I've got a Marduk, and I'll slip him one. Be like, oh, yeah, it's totally Asher. It's like, ah! Right? And this gets really fun because also with the import goods, you're going to start seeing that they actually have some treacherous things going on, right? So you could trade somebody a flood, and it's going to end up doing bad things to you. There's barbarians and various other elements, and there's cards that let you lie about what it is actually on the card. And so you're going through and you're doing all this trading, trying to manipulate your points and where you're going to be on the track so that you can develop your society the way you want to.
So during this trading phase, this is kind of like open trading. People
Totally
just yelling
open,
and
yeah,
talking,
yeah. This is
yelling
like
at each other.
a mild version of Pit.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. All right.
And so yeah, it's open like that. Now it is timed so that it doesn't go on indefinitely because you're going to get
That's
that
smart.
one guy that's
Smart.
like, come on guys, trade me my flax. I want my flax.
I want
And
my
you're
stack
like,
of flax.
Nobody wants your flax, Marty. Come on. So yeah, so we do have a time limit on 5 minutes. Usually when I play, I'm seeing it last about 3 to 4 minutes, and we call it time. Every now and then we hit the time limit, but that's with people that kind of know what's going on and know what they want. So that does limit the game. So no matter what, the game's gonna be 25 plus some. And then these cards here, these allow you to trade with other players. I can't use this card, even though I'm producing it. And so this says that I can trade it to somebody, and they can discard a barbarian for every Asher development that they have.
Okay. I
Right?
guess the barbarians are bad.
Barbarians are really bad.
Okay.
Yeah, and so the more prosperous your civilization is, the more barbarians you're going to end up attracting.
Okay.
And so, and then during the last round of the game, I'll explain what the barbarians do. So I could be like, hey, you know what? If you'll take this fish and give me a lapis lazuli, right, which the import goods are worth more points, then I'll go ahead and because I'm giving you a lesser good for a higher good, I'll go ahead and kill one of your barbarians for you too, right?
Oh,
and
okay.
so you have all this leverage, and so some of these cards are going to let you manipulate what's going on the track. Some of these cards, the development cards, are actually going to do bad things to all the players. It's like, oh, if you don't have more military than me, then you're going to lose points at the end of every round. And so it's like, oh, well, I'll trade you, and it's like, oh, we won't invade you this turn. right? And so that becomes currency that you can now trade.
A little
is
bit of
what-
leverage there.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And so you're building up these and using those as well. So once the trading phase is over, then comes the mercantile phase. And so we didn't actually trade any cards here. So if this was the case, and this is what I was turning in, I would actually get no money for these, but I would get 1 point for each one of these, right? So that's not necessarily good for me, and maybe I don't want to go down super far on that. So each one of these boards lets you store up to 3 resources. This tells me I can't store this, so I have to turn in the silver. And so maybe I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bank these 3 Marduks and try to get rid of them next round. Okay? And so now, when I'm looking at this, I'm going to move 1 on the dictatorship, I'm going to move 1 down on Marduk, but then I'm going to move 1 back in Asher, and I'm going to, so I end up staying put, right? And I still collect 3 points.
Okay.
Right? So that's the mercantile phase, and then after that is the civic phase. Some of these cards are going to have different civic abilities, like we were talking about, where they do negative things to the different players, right? And then the barbarians are going to invade. Whoever has the most barbarians is going to lose points equal to the number of barbarians that they have.
But only the one with the most?
Only the one with the most.
Oh, wow.
If there's a tie, both players lose it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yikes. Okay,
So
okay.
But then whatever you had, so if you had 7 barbarians, you're losing 7 points, and then you're going to discard down to 2 barbarians.
Okay.
Okay, so they've
they
taken their
pillage.
loot, they've left, but they leave a couple scouts to kind of check it out and be like, let's make sure that they don't rise up again.
Okay.
Okay, and that's what's going on. And then after the barbarians invade, we're going to be checking these culture tokens, and whoever has the most culture tokens is going to have a golden age in their civilization. So at the end of the first round, we don't actually do the barbarians or the golden age. There's a little bit of ramping up. And then at the second round, the golden age, whoever has that is going to collect a resource from one of the first stacks, any one they want. So even if I'm over here in Asher, if I have the golden age, I could take a Marduk card.
Okay.
Right? And vice versa for the governments as well. And then during the third round, we're taking from the second stack. From the fourth round, we're taking from the third stacks, and the third stacks do tend to be the most powerful. They have some in-game points, potentially even worth like 12 points, which can be a lot in this game, and some of those as well. And then on the final round, you're going to, the golden age is just 7 points.
Okay.
Okay. But there are cards also that will trigger and incentivize you to get that golden age in that 5th round. So there's a lot of neat little things that interplay in that. So after the civic phase, after we've resolved any cards, the barbarians, and the golden ages, then we would check to see if the game is over. If it's not, we just move on to the next round. And we do that 5 times. Whoever civilization has the most points at the end of 5 rounds is the winner, and they become the most prosperous civilization on the Tigris.
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
So, are each of the civilizations, they have different abilities?
Nope, they're all individual, and the different abilities come into play based upon how you build this, right? And so
Okay.
from the very beginning of the game, you are going to start with 1 government card and 1 religion card that of your choosing from 4 different cards, right? So
Okay.
you get 4 cards, you choose 2 of them, and so from the very beginning of the game, you're going to start interacting with it differently. And you might go you might end up producing a lot of basic goods and neglecting the import goods. You might end up swapping like I did here and going, I'll get rid of some standard basic goods so that I can produce more of the import goods. And those are kind of the beginning types of choices that you're going to have. There are other elements and other cards in there also, and all of that comes into play and allows you to start kind of framing your faction from the very beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And these cards that you scored points with during that phase, do they go away?
Yeah,
or you
they just
keep
get
them?
discarded.
Okay,
Yeah.
so those are the only ones you'll be keeping from round to round, whatever's in
Exactly.
your warehouse.
Yeah, and
Okay.
actually, there's even cards that will incentivize you. It's like, oh, for every goat that you have in your warehouse, you're going to gain a point at the end of the civic round. And so it's like maybe I'm incentivized to keep these goats here and just and hang on to them for a while, and then that might potentially allow me to bank up a bunch. And then on the very last round of the game, I'm just going to boom.
But aside from other like full Civ games, I didn't see a mechanism, unless I missed it, where you could just like build up a military and attack somebody else.
Yeah, no, there's none of that. The barbarians are the biggest element of the attacking in this game, and so the way that you're doing that is by producing these goods and then trading goods. And some of these cards do have barbarians on them, right? And so it's by forcing barbarians on other players, tricking them. During the trading phase, you can actually trade barbarian tokens and you can trade culture icons. So somebody's like, I really, really, really want your bronze. And I'm like, well, do you want it bad enough to take a barbarian away from me? Right?
Okay,
And then
yeah.
and so you can end up trading those things. You can trade points. Like all of that is part of the interaction between the various different players.
Yeah, a lot of interplay, and not just like a solo. Not everyone's not playing solo, just building up their little civilization. There's a lot of interplay between the players.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I really like about this game, because one of the things that I enjoy the most about the games is playing with the other players, interacting.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's one thing to feel like I outthought somebody in my own little solitaire board, which it has its place and I do get enjoyment out of. But I find it much more satisfying to look you right in the eye and say, this is totally an Asher card. You really, really want this Asher card. And then you get it and you're all excited because you needed that one more Asher card for your fine balance. And then you get it and it's like, oh, you gave me 2 barbarians, you dirty dog! It's like that. And just to honestly, that moment, and it's just the game is chock filled with those moments where you build up trust and you have the little bit of traitoring, but it's also not super punishing.
Well, that's cool where you can take what looks like and feels like we'll play like a pretty straight Euro, but add those social elements to it, right? And I think anytime I hear a game with trading, I went, okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Especially when it's like the open trading, like you said, like pit. Yeah, then it could get crazy.
Yeah, no, and by having the dual elements on all the cards and having them all do different things, and you're thinking about this, it actually tames down. So it's not nearly as wild and crazy as a pit game would be, right, at the table. But at the same time, it creates this dynamic thought that's going on in that space that just really makes it far more interesting than the normal. Oh, I want to try to get as much as this as I can, and I'm going to be the loud guy at the table to do it.
Yeah. And I also really am intrigued by the dual track of the religion and the government that both have the 2 sides, because then you have to balance both of those along with your cards, and that's really interesting.
Yeah, and one thing that I didn't mention that if you notice is if you look on the far end of the tracks, right? If you're going too far on Mardugs, you end up becoming a fanatic
or a zealot,
right? And over here, if you're too much of a dictator, you become a tyrant. And if it's too much democracy, it becomes bureaucracy, and it actually becomes worth less points. And instead of drawing from the number 3s, you reset back down to the number 1s.
Oh, that's why it has that.
Yeah, and so with that,
you've
gone too far. You've got the blinders on. You're not seeing the error or the folly of your own ways.
Nice.
And so that even as you're up that track, that you're balancing that becomes very meticulous.
Yes. And is that something where, like trading the cards, someone's like, man, they are about to become zealots over there. Oh yeah, I'll trade you this, and you can give them the wrong thing. Oh, now you're a zealot.
Exactly, exactly right.
Because that's the part that you can lie about.
Yeah, that's the part that you can keep hidden. Exactly.
Nice.
So I've played this where people are like, I am not divulging anything on the bottom of the card, and they're like, nope, never. It's like, you will get no information from me. It's going to be what it's going to be. And I have people that will just tell the truth, and then they'll lie at key moments. And then I've had people lie to me. Round 1, first trade. It's like, really, and yet I have to trade with them later in the game, and so even though I know I can't trust them.
Yep. Oh, yep. You get painted in that corner of, well, now I flip a coin.
Exactly. So there's room for so many different play styles and different ways to approach the game.
Yeah. It's really neat how it, like you said, from turn 1, there just seems like everyone could be branching off in their own direction.
Yep.
It's really cool that it allows that sort of flexibility in your play style.
Cool. And so this is going to be coming out at Gen Con?
Yeah, at Gen Con. We are air freighting in 1 or 2 pallets. We're looking at the logistics right now and seeing exactly how many we can get there and make sure that we don't try to do too much and end up causing errors or delays. And so 1 or 2 pallets is going to make it to Gen Con. We typically just sell them as they come. So it's like we don't hold any back. We don't allocate. We just and so that's how we do things. And so if you want it, come and see us early in Gen Con.
That sounds like if those of you are going to be packed up against the doors on Thursday morning, this might be one of the places you run to, is the Tasty Minstrel Games booth. Now, how much is it going to cost?
It's going to be $60 MSRP.
$60. Yep. And this is designed by 2 names you may recognize, Ryan Sturm and Jeff Engelstein.
Yep, and if you listen to their podcast, then they've talked about it extensively over a period of time. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this looks great.
Yes.
I love Civ type games, and then you throw in the little trading aspect. And I don't know what Tom has a problem with trading on the Mediterranean. That sounds exciting to me.
I know.
Yeah, sounds great.
And honestly, this might be one that he likes, because this one you're actually playing with other players, and I know Tom likes that.
Yeah, there you go.
So yes.
Well, they've thought of everything. Woo! Yes. Okay. Speaking of trading and floating along, we are going to switch things up and swap out with a game that we've put together to play with you.
Okay.
And Marty, can you hand me the box lid? This one is going to require a privacy screen on my part.
Privacy screen.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I'm just going to put this up here because what we are going to do, Marty, do you want to explain the game while I get this set up?
Yes, Chaz. we just lost connection here, so you have to reestablish over there. So here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
So the name of your company is Tasty Minstrel Games.
Yes,
now,
it is.
We could have
Brave,
gone.
brave Sir Robin.
We could have gone one of two ways.
Okay.
We could have gone with the tasty way
Yep.
or the minstrel way. We saved you from the tasty from having to eat some nasty tasting jelly beans.
Okay.
So we've decided to go the minstrel way.
Okay, so I'm going to be singing songs for everybody?
No, you're going to be listening to songs.
All I want to do is sing something.
No, there'll be none of that. Oh, I'm happy now.
Not dead yet.
So what we're going to be doing is, minstrels are known for playing their instruments. They would come into the king's court and they would play for the king on different types of instruments.
Yes, they would, until the Dargon ate them.
Yes. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing you classical, not classical, but medieval.
Minstrel. I went out and I Googled minstrel instruments, and these were
Okay.
all instruments listed that minstrels had played in classical time periods.
Okay.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is going to be playing you a snippet of a song with that particular instrument and see if you can name the instrument.
Okay.
Yes. So you are looking for not the song, you are looking for the instrument.
The instrument.
The minstrel instrument. Now, we have 10 of them. If you...
Oh,
wait.
I got this!
There's more.
There's
oh,
more.
what? There's more.
Oh, no. Am I going to get slime dumped on me if I get it wrong? Is this Nickelodeon? It's like,
There's
All
10
right.
questions. Now, if you can get the majority of these correct, at least 6,
Okay.
you will win
Three
a
questions.
$25 Cool Stuff Inc. gift certificate for a randomly selected viewer who has sent in a tweet using this hashtag. All
I
right?
want you to win. I really do. I really want you to win. Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. So let's make sure I'm going to, is it the speaker on?
We'll see.
This says it's paired. Let's see
Let's
if we
try
get
it.
any sound.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm nervous. 'cause
Hopefully y'all
I'm
can hear
nervous
this.
for you because I want.
Try turning it up. Is it? Okay.
Okay. He says
turn
turn
up-
it louder.
turn
He
up
says
a little.
make it a little louder. Okay. So it's a string instrument,
Correct.
and I don't think it's a lute.
Play along out
and
there
Go
in
with
the
your first
comments if you
instincts.
want.
Go with your
Go with
first
my
in-
first in-
Go with your first instinct.
So are you saying I don't think it's a lute and go with that, or
No, don't go with your first
don't
instinct.
go with my first instinct?
Go with the word you just said.
Trust your instincts, unless your instincts are terrible.
If your
All right,
instinct is
Emmett.
loot, go with
Let's
it.
see. Okay, loot. We're gonna go.
You're
with
right.
loot.
That was loot.
Yay! One closer for you.
All right, here's let's get you. Here, this will be a victory point. So
Oh,
you need to collect
I'm
6.
gonna actually take a loot.
Oh, there.
I'm gonna take the culture icon right here
all
for
right,
me.
all right.
There you go.
Okay.
Loot down. Okay.
Number 2.
Here, number 2. Oh, hold on. Getting the correct tab.
Dun dun dun.
This is this is the most technical thing we've done, so just bear with us.
So this sounds the same, but deeper. Dulcimer.
Now, hold on. Dulcimer, I think, has little mallets.
Is that the mallet one?
The dulcimer is the mallet one. Now, I don't want to harp on you, but you do want to give this a little time. Okay, so just give it like a couple more seconds.
Oh, I really like harps too. Have you seen those ones where people like play Metallica songs? The two girls play.
Yes.
Yes,
Those
yeah.
are really good videos. All right.
So hopefully it will come to you. Harp. Hey,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
right.
that's
You're
right.
right.
That's the second one.
I am really good at this.
You are.
You're not a harp aficionado?
Apparently not.
That does not
Yeah.
sound very harpy. It didn't. All right. Here's this one. No hint for you on this.
No
one.
hint on this
Okay.
one.
No hint for you on this
Okay.
one.
Bagpipe.
Oh, wow. 2 notes in. Dang.
That's right.
And Chaz is wearing
What-
a kilt for the event.
Instead of college, I went hitchhiking in Ireland as a
Oh,
teenager.
wow.
so
That is awesome.
yeah.
In
I
preparation for this game?
Love, no, I didn't want to go to school. I was just tired of it, and so I was working. And my dad came home and he's like, "You just need to go do something."
Right.
So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go to Ireland."
There you-
And
that's something.
So I
All right.
packed a backpack and went, and got very familiar with that
That's
sound.
very cool.
Yeah, it was
Very
awesome.
nice. Very nice.
It's
Okay.
awful.
Are you ready for
And
number
Guinness.
4?
Number 4.
Here we go.
Another string.
Yep.
Is a mandolin a classic instrument?
It is a classic minstrel instrument. A mandolin is
All right,
definitely
I'm
one.
going to go mandolin.
You are correct.
Yes! Oh, I got that one all on my own.
Yes. What? Oh my gosh.
Okay.
All right. So that is mandolin.
I'm already like surprised and pleased with myself, even though half of this I got help with.
I
You just
was-
need 2 more.
I
Two
was
more,
scared.
and
I was
you
scared
get,
about that
you
one.
get some money.
All right, see if we can make it rain.
I'm gonna
Get
get some-
mandolin rain.
Okay, so this is along the lines of a violin.
You're right.
Nice.
That's it. Yes.
Not
Very
only is it
good.
along the line.
It is a violin.
But what brand is it? Is it a Stratford? I don't know.
Did you get your point for that one?
I did not. Nope.
There you
Here's
go. Take
number
your point.
5.
All right. Okay. Oh, wait. No more clues for you at all. You're
Okay.
on your own
Killing
now.
it. Killing it.
All right. Here comes the next one.
All right.
I haven't heard these either, so I'm playing along.
This is a harpsichord.
Yep.
Oh my word! It is a harpsichord.
Yeah. It's a piano, but the piano is a percussion and a string instrument, but the harpsichord is purely a plucking instrument.
Well, look at you!
Wow.
What? When you finally did go to college, were you like a harpsichord major?
No. Yeah.
Okay. How many is that?
I'm at 6.
All right.
So
this-
you're
can
getting
you run the table?
Yeah. Now, can
Now
you go
can
for the
you
clean
run the
sweep?
table?
What do they get if I run the table?
A $25 gift certificate that goes up
Another one? We're
No,
doubling down.
No, the same one.
Oh, come on. Make it interesting for him.
You're gonna get us in trouble.
Tell you what, no. I'll tell you what. If I get all of them, then whoever they choose as the winner, as the random winner, I'll send you a free game too.
Oh!
That just
What
happened.
did that just happen here?
That just happened
That just
right
happened
now.
here.
No,
I
I'm
just-
nervous.
I just invented that.
Oh. All right. There are 4 left.
Okay, 4 more.
Oh. Okay.
Wow, I was just going to give you a moon pie, but okay, you just upped it.
All right. Here we go.
All right. I feel so bad. I'm gonna run them down right after that. Oh. They really like their string instruments.
I'm not.
I am willing to give a hint on this one. It is an instrument that you have actually already mentioned.
Oh, then I know.
So is this the dulcimer?
It is.
Yeah, I was
This
gonna
is the
say-
dulcimer.
I was going to
Okay.
say, this is
That's
probably
the-
hearing this
all
a
right.
lot in Appalachian Mountains.
Because you told me it was like a percussion. Is it?
You can see here. Yeah, the guy.
Oh, it
playing.
is a percussion, but
Yeah.
it's with strings. So this is
Yes,
like.
yes.
So the piano is like dulcimer mixed with harpsichord.
Yeah, in a way.
mean,
Yeah.
kinda, yeah. All right.
Here's your point.
There you go.
All right.
What?
All right.
All right.
2 more.
When you said that, I was like thinking like all of a sudden now we're like on the lines of xylophone, and I'm like, man, I was way off. I thought it was a string instrument, but it is. Okay, good.
All right. Here we go. Here is number 8.
9. We're on 9. We got,
Wait.
Got 2 left.
I got
Okay.
8 here.
Yes.
Did I skip one? Did
Wait,
I
one, two,
steal a point? You got to watch me sometimes.
I don't know. Okay, here we go. He's like, I don't know.
I think it's good.
That's a flute or
Yeah, that's a flute.
All right. 1 away.
Boom.
And it's weird. I have 2 tabs open still, but that's okay.
Just give him 10.
We'll have a bonus one.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
He'll give away 8 games.
So here's number next.
Number next. Oh. This is like it's too high to be a bassoon. Maybe clarinet.
It is a clarinet.
Okay.
Dang,
All right.
dude. That's it.
And now here
Do you
is
want to try the
okay.
11th just to see?
just for fun.
All right.
Just for fun.
Okay.
This was actually mentioned as a minstrel instrument. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The Will Ferrell fan of me wants to say cowbell.
It
That's
is.
it!
Really?
It is cowbell.
It is cowbell. There were evidently a lot of minstrels who would get beaten up.
That's awesome. All right.
You ran the table.
Yes,
You
we
ran.
ran the table. I get to send somebody a game.
Woo!
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So what we will do is, we will be picking the winner after the broadcast,
Okay.
sometime between now and when we start up tomorrow morning.
That was a lot of fun.
When we get-
awesome.
I
Yes.
was so nervous. I was.
When you upped the stakes, I was like getting the shakes.
So again, for you want a chance to win, make sure to send
You
a
need-
tweet
yes.
to that using that hashtag.
Use, a
Okay.
question for us, a statement, a comment, anything you want. Just tweet with this hashtag,
How
and you'll
awesome
be entered.
Daniel is.
Yes, yes. And so what we'll do is when we pick the winner, like tomorrow morning, we'll come by your booth and we'll tell you who it is. And
All
we'll
right.
get you hooked up.
Deal.
Awesome.
Deal. I'm excited. That was so much fun.
That was awesome.
Daniel, thank you so much for
Oh,
coming
that was
by.
a
Yes.
fun. Thanks for having me.
If you want to go by and say, will you be at Gen Con?
Heck yeah. I'll be
If
at
you want to
Gen
go by
Con.
and ask him some music, some minstrel musical
Yes.
instrument questions, you've got that. Or if you want to copy this game, Trade on the Tigris.
Trade on the
It will be
Tigris.
there at Gen Con. And before we cut out of here, just to wrap up the schedule that we're going to have for the rest of the day.
Let's get that on. The producer is getting that on
Let's
screen
see.
for us.
So what we're going to have next is, I can't see it. Chaz.
Tony with Arcane Wonders, a good personal friend of mine.
But it was this
That
morning
was this
already.
morning.
Oh, dang it!
Go all the way down.
2:30, we have as
We're
Daryl
going to the
Andrews.
dentist. At 2:30, we're going to...
For a root canal. 2:30, we've got
Sorry.
Daryl Andrews coming up. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, Ignacio will be joining us for 30 minutes. Then at 4:30,
Nice.
Jamie Kagan from the Secret Ball will be coming in to play a special games of Wits and Wagers where we're going to be drinking hot sauce.
Oh.
The loser drinks hot sauce.
Oh, my word. Are they going to get progressively
Yes,
worse?
yes. But again,
Nice.
Jamie doesn't know, so don't tell him. All right, so
I'm glad I got the musical instrument.
you lucked out. All right, we will be back at whatever time we just said, 2:30. And in the meantime, use that hashtag to get into the drawing because we have 2 Cool Stuff Inc. gift certificates we'll be drawing, and one of those 2 will also randomly be picked to be getting a game from Tasty Minstrel Games.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, so we'll see you again at 2:30 Eastern Time, and till then, take care.
All right. Cheers.